On January 15, 1929, a second child was born to Alberta Martin Luther King in Atlanta, Georgia. The boy was named after his father, Martin Luther, but was known by his initial, ML. Martin Luther King Jr. King Sr. had risen from poor beginnings. His father, a sharecropper in rural Georgia, was very rough with his family. Martin Sr. escaped from home as soon as he could, striking out for Atlanta at the age of 15. He got work as a machine's assistant in a railroad fireman and put himself through his school in his work hours. He started preaching and in 1926 met and married Alberta, the daughter of Reverend Williams. Died in 1931. Martin Sr. took over as pastor. The King's prosperous family. Martin Sr. was a popular minister and a smart businessman. Alberta, a quiet woman with a peaceful temperament, was the perfect minister's wife. Martin Jr. not only grew up in a loving and comfortable family, but he also enjoyed being part of the caring community of his father's church. He liked to play baseball, riding his bike, and playing kite. He memorized rhymes and long passages from the Bible by the time he was 5 years old. There was no doubting the fact that African Americans were treated as inferiors by most white Americans. As he grew up, Martin found himself surrounded by ignorance and prejudice. Across the South, whites and African Americans went to different schools, libraries, parks, restaurants, swimming pools, and drinking fountains. The African Americans' faculties were always inferior to the white faculties. In shops, they had to use side windows, and in movie theaters, they were restricted to the balcony. Martin was an African American Baptist minister. He was the main leader of the civil rights movement in the United States during the 1950s and 1960s. He had a magnificent speaking ability which enabled him effectively express the demands of African Americans for social justice. King's equality police won the support of millions of people, black and whites, and made him international famous. He was the Nobel Peace Prize for leading non-violent civil rights demonstrations. He often became the target of violence because of his stress on nonviolence. White resistors bombed his home in Mountain, Alabama, and threw rocks at him in Chicago. Finally, violence ended King's life at the age of 39, when an accusation shot and killed him. Some historians view King's death as the end of the civil rights era that began in the mid-1950s. Under his leadership, the civil rights movement won wide support among whites, and laws that had buried internationally in the southern states were abolished. After he died, a lot of people came to his memorial.